think we need to thank you all for being part of this press briefing from the region, only coming down to be part of this great occasion and for other issues which we are around for. As we make speedy progress, it's my pleasure now to call upon the Director of Operations, Assistant Inspector General of Police, Mrs. Elizabeth Ture, who is going to talk on the pending elections, which we are going to have on Saturday at Constituency 110. I think you want to know how prepared are we. We are well prepared, and to explain some of the modalities that have been put in place with regards to the policing of this event, which is supposed to take place at Constituency 110. And further to that, she will be talking a little bit about some modalities that are going to be put in place with regards to the press release from the Bank of Style, to give some highlights with regards to that. So at this juncture, I want to hand you over to the First Lady of the First.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our able and dynamic Director of Media and Public Relations Department, members of the 4th Estate. I think before actually giving my C-Strep, let me preface it with a lot of thanks and appreciation from the SLP for the support we've been receiving from members of the 4th Estate. It is always good to actually have that collaboration and coordination with them, because whatever we get from you guys is actually going to inform our institution from the corporate level as to how we can actually plan to make sure that we police this country efficiently and effectively. So without much ado, like my colleagues have explained, the security as the overall boss in charge of coordinating all the activities of regional commanders. We've been in constant communication on a daily basis, and I'm very pleased to inform this body that we have been on top of situation when it comes to security issues. And the operations, like one of my colleagues said, the joint operation is ongoing. It is in earnest, and we have actually made sure that we have our deployments across the country, though there are few challenges, we are actually trying to grapple with over time. And I also want to inform this body that, we have done quite a lot of planning for the rerun of the by-election in Constituency 110, covering Godrich and some of the peninsula areas. And I'm very pleased to inform you that, we have actually planned extensively over the months, bringing in play the Tonkolimba model, because that was one of our success stories, and we actually want to replicate it for the western area. This morning I was at the regional headquarters with the Deputy Inspector General of Police to actually give the final touches to our planning, and we actually had a very successful meeting with all the regional commanders. The AIGs will also be part of these operations, and we have identified a good number of AIGs who are actually going to play a supervisory role to make sure that things go well, throughout the process. And this morning we met at the regional headquarters, and we were able to identify the officers who will be deployed. We've already briefed them this morning at the regional headquarters. So supported by senior police officers who also supervise the 3 wards. We're going to have 3 wards, Ward 338, 339, and 340, if I'm not mistaken. Those wards will be manned by senior police officers from the rank of Chief Superintendent onto Superintendent. So in the event anything goes wrong, those officers will be accountable for those wards. And they were part of the briefing, and we have actually specified their roles and responsibilities. And quite apart from that, like I said earlier, we actually spoke to those officers who will be deployed. And according to the ops plan, we are expecting to have well over 300 officers who will be deployed for that area. I'm saying it because I really want you guys to monitor. We'll be out, but for transparency and accountability, which is very key for the entire process, we really want you guys to go out to monitor, you know, the deployments and even the professionalism of the police officers, because we have actually briefed them that they have to be, in as much as they will be deployed to provide security, whilst being deployed, they have to be very professional in the discharge of their responsibility. They have to be very courteous, the manner in which they talk to people. It has to be very professional, you know. And we've also entreated them that we will be having robust patrols, joint SLP, ASLAF, like the centers. We are not expecting, we really want police to take primacy of the centers. We don't want to instill more fear in people, you know. So we are going to be deployed fully in at the various polling centers, and the ASLAF will be on standby. In the event there is a major incident which the police cannot tackle, then we will see how best we can invoke the MACP. But from all indications, we are also going to have joint patrols with them, so that we can actually make sure that there is sanity throughout the exercise. For the East, we have identified the Freetown West. We've identified AIGs who will be working with the regional commander, and also the Gold Command Center, that is the Incident Command Center. The DIG and my very self will be at the Incident Command Center to monitor the event, the elections. And we have AIGs for Freetown East and Freetown West, because part of the police centers include areas in Freetown East, the peninsular areas, you know. So we'll be having most of the LUCs, the AIGs, and other senior officers deployed, and we'll be having robust patrols as well as static deployment in key areas based on the threat level. You know, we're going to have checkpoints, so that we have, based on the intelligence we are getting, that has actually informed our operational plan, and which we are going to implement. We have robust patrols, static deployments, as well as checkpoints to actually check that. There's an MOU with political parties. They have spelled out what PPRC have spelled out what we expect from political parties, the security sector, and other stakeholders. So we are really going to enforce the MOU as well. So the plan is on course, and God being our helper, we hope with your own support, with the support from everybody, we will effectively police the by-election come Saturday. And we also decided that, you know, because of the time, we'll be deploying very early in the morning, you know, on Saturday. So we have our police officers, men and women, overnight to spend the night, and before the morning hours, we actually have our police officers deployed at the various police stations, and we have robust patrols as well as checkpoints. So on the whole, we are on top of the situation, and we will continue to monitor, and we really need to get your support and cooperation. You know, where things are going wrong in terms of police unprofessionalism, please, alert the Incident Command Center. I will be there, the DIG will be there. If there are any concerns, you have the opportunity to meet us, or even give us a phone call, so that we can address the issues, you know. Then for the Bank of, I am sure you all you are all privy to the public notice from the BSL requesting for the enforcement of the Bank of Sierra Leone foreign currency regulation, and we've actually had extensive engagement with the BSL and other stakeholders onto the security sector level, where we are really tasked to come up with an ops plan to operationalize the public notice, you know, from the Bank of Sierra Leone. We met, and we have come up with a comprehensive operational plan. It's going to be a multi-agency approach, not only the Sierra Leone Police Force. We also have other institutions that will be involved, you know, looking at the monitoring the movements of foreign currencies in and out of the country, and we are going to make sure that, at least on our own part, the police will have to look at the enforcement aspect. We have other institutions that will take care of the preventive aspect, like NRA, Bank of Sierra Leone. They are expected to actually come up with lots of engagement, sensitization to members of the public. At the same time, positioning billboards, along the crossing areas as well as the international airports, so that people can actually understand, that they should not be doing this. They have there are limitations when traveling with foreign currencies. So the plan is on. This morning, just now I had meetings with all the regional commanders. I decided to call all the regional commanders so that we can brainstorm on the operational plan and to task them further to go back to their respective divisions, inform their frontline officers so that they can actually operationalize, the plan we've already developed from the security sector point of view. So we are set for the operations and they have been briefed. But like I said, again, it's all borders on intelligence. It is intelligence-led. It is targeting not only, it's the operation will target individuals, who are holding huge sum of foreign currencies, without depositing them at the bankers, at the commercial institutions, even travelers, there's limitation. We all know the limitation, in the event you are in excess of foreign currency above $10,000, we expect you to declare it. And if you want to travel with beyond, at least if the need arises according to the regulation, you can seek permission from the Bank of Australia. But we are really going to enforce it so that at least people can know that there is limitation, in terms of traveling with huge sum of money, as well as the those who are coming in, but according to the public notice, when you come in with huge sum of money exceeding $10,000 or the equivalent in other currencies, you have to make sure that within 3 days, such money should be deposited at one of the commercial institutions. After 3 days, based on that, if you don't declare and if you have enough intelligence, from the airport, then it is the responsibility of the Sierra Leone Police Force to make sure that they will go out for you and make sure that you pay the full penalty of the law. Yeah. Then in terms of this foreign currency, those who will be arrested will be handed over to the Bank of Australia. But when we actually look at the evidence, if there is substantive evidence to detect that it goes beyond just traveling with huge sum of money, it is linked with any financial fraud, like money laundering, organized crime. The police will have to go beyond, investigating to actually prove beyond all reasonable. If there is enough evidence against whosoever is responsible or the culprit, then the police will have to prosecute the offender. So these are the two things we have. Then from the regions, I was really expecting the AIG East to report that there was a turning issue in a murder of a mobile. Yes, there's a murder in Mumbai. That trial has been concluded. We had initially 12 accused persons. So after the trial, the 11 were discharged. Yes, and one was sentenced to death by hanging. Yes, the mother, I know that. Is it a Bendu? Is it Bendu? Bendu Bindi? Yeah, Mobile.
The
victim. A victim. Yes. It was killed. His remains was discovered in a nearby bush. Yes, early this year. So the trial has been concluded, and one person has been convicted to death by hanging. Yes. Then the 22, the Hamilton issue came up today. Again, this is the fifth appearance. All the 22 accused persons were remanded again to reappear on the 26th of this month. The matter was.
Are you following up?
The 22, the Hamilton issue this morning. Yes, the matter came up today, and the 22 we are again remanded. The matter was adjourned to the 26th of this month.
Okay.
Yes. Then I don't know whether you have briefed on this deportees.
Yes, we have done that last week.
Okay.
We
Yes.
did that last week.
Okay.
And at this point,
the recent confrontation between the students and the police officers, in which the police officers were alleged to be very unprofessional and heavy-handed. We have tasked the Director of Professional Standards to investigate. And this morning I actually received a report from them, but I have not got the opportunity because of my busy schedule. Really, I need to read the report. Then the next press, yes, Jala.
Jala, we dealt with that at the last press briefing in detail, and we were able to avail the press release from the public relations officer from the Jala University, which was really commending police action and our proactiveness, and a lot of accolades were showered on the police with regards to that operations. And at the same time, the other press release that came from a statement from the Deputy Minister for Technical and Higher Education. Also, I'm commending the police for the way and manner in which we behave. There was no loss of life during that operations, and it was handled. Had it not been for the intervention of the police, the auditorium and other facilities would have been brought down. And it was the swiftness of our reaction that really prevented such from happening. And further to that also, many a times these issues happen, and when police go there, people start to look the police in another light. If we under police, they will say that we are not fit for purpose. And when we over police, people will start to talk. So we are caught in a catch 24 situation wherein to balance the under policing and the over policing and to be new professionally in the middle. This is what we that is our quest always to try to attain. And further to that, I want to stress the fact that you would see the police officers who went on that operation, they have some shields and batons. No lethal weapon were used. So for that, I think we tried to address that, even though the Bar Association I mentioned last, they came out with a press release, but some of them have not even visited the scene, and we were able to present the two reports that was within our reach, that from the public relations officer for Jala University and that of the Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education.
Okay, so in addition
to that, I want to stress the fact that please let us be careful, how we present some situations, particularly for senior officers. I think they have mentioned it, tarnishing the name of senior officers, which is not too good. Come and cross-check. That is why we have the Media and Public Relations Unit. Come at any given time, rather than sending messages in the social media against high-profile officers, which we do not accept, or we are not happy about. And I guess you know what I'm talking about. And further to that, to state, we are making, you have a very good police service in this nation, but many of you, it's so difficult for you to appreciate the work of the police. Whilst you are sleeping at night, the whole night the police officers are out patrolling. And even now we have senior AIGs are going out on night patrol to ensure that you have
I was the monitoring officer last night. And I'm still at work.
Because we love our nation, so we are out there on the 24/7.
Why do you guys are sleeping?
Yeah, they are sleeping.
Some of us are working.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good. I hope you work. I hope you work the right way.
Yeah. If you are a night carpenter and you are caught.